Hello, and welcome to my channel, Painting the Pieces. This is part 3 of working on the painting At Your Service, Just Ring the Bell. And as I explained last time, in part 2, I had made a wheel for the person on the left-hand side to be able to move. And I wanted to show on the inside how that wheel would operate. So I'm making 2 gear pieces and putting the teeth around the outside of that bottom one. And then I will do the same thing with the one on the top just under the collar. And then attaching those 2 gears, or attached around the outside, will be a pulley. And of course this is nothing that would work in actual life. There's nothing about the 2 pulleys that would cause the wheel to move, but it'll work for the painting, I think. So just to give you an idea that the person is able to, or the being is able to move on that wheel. And then I'm going to size the wheel to be a little bit larger. I'm getting rid of those eraser marks. Okay, and then I'm making a heart under the rib of the being on the right, and making a little drawing to the clavicle, and attaching a little string or cord of some kind, and then getting the eraser marks, making the gears lighter as well before I start to paint them. So the inside is going to be painted a Naples yellow at this point. These are watercolors. These are Lightwish watercolors, and I'm doing the same thing with the tire at the bottom. And then I've decided to paint sort of like an old barbershop wheel. And now the heart on the other side, and strengthening that branch that goes out that the bird is on, and back to the person on the left. And I do go back and forth like that when I'm painting, because I like to make sure that those similar colors are on both sides. And it causes the painting to look a little bit more uniform, brings it together. And that is a cad red mixed with burnt sienna. Same Lightwish watercolors. And then back to a little bit more work on the heart. I think I use a burnt umber there to make it a little bit darker and get the valves that come up. And blotting the water out of the middle of the gears. You get so much water on it to kind of make the balance. And now the inside of the ribs, the rib cage is has 2 parts. It comes around the back, so I wanted to show those shadows in the back of that rib part of the cage. And I'm working on the bell at the top. And it's hard to see from this angle a little bit that there's a finger pushing that bell in the center of the gear, and also more blotting. Doing a little depth on the gears there. And back to darkening that heart now that the heart has those paints have dried a little bit. I can go back in and make that a little bit of deeper burnt sienna. And a little bit of work on the feather duster. I'm working with a diluted brown for the feather duster. I'm just trying to get the shape of that, and I'll go in and darken it and use a couple of different browns and probably a sienna too, to kind of distinguish the little feathers that come up in the duster. And then getting that junction at what would be the normal elbow back to the gear, and making those more pronounced, those teeth. And the same with the ones around the heart. And strengthening that burnt umber. Once the watercolor dries a little bit, you have an opportunity to do that. And that's it for part 3. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.